I'm a little fruit bowl.
There we go.
Just in case.
All right.
I heard somebody call you a little fruit bowl once, but I told him to mind
Well,
their
you know.
business.
It's because
It depends on the day. Hey, man.
Yeah.
You know, what happens at the bar stays at the bar. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. We all still love you. We will never judge.
There you
We
go.
will not be.
Oh, my
we will not be
God. We're
judging.
back on Facebook. Holy crap. When was the last time? When was the last time, guys? Come on. It's been a while.
Yeah.
When was the last
All
time?
right.
Somebody remember. I don't even
Should
remember.
should we even talk about that? I mean,
How
man,
long has
because
it
like
been?
Could.
Just out
Okay.
of curiosity.
let's go. Let's take it
Or
back.
scoring a big plague ago.
Or scoring a plague ago. Well, I mean, like, because I've moved like
Yeah, right. Pre-plague. You've
3
moved
times
twice.
in
Three
the
times,
last
you're right.
Three
It's
times,
been,
yeah.
3 times
Now
in the
we're-
last few months.
and we've had a plague, and
We've had a
can't
plague.
manage to release a book to save our lives. I know, right?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
We have been very busy.
Part of what we're here today to do is to update our fine fans on what we, because this is not an actual episode.
We're doing stuff.
No.
Yeah, this
Authors
is not an
and
actual,
Change.
this is
These
like
are
the
This
the
is
the
a-
special kids. Yeah, these are the
This
special.
is like the
right.
shirt and the skins. We're doing like a scrimmage game here. That's
That's
what we're
it.
doing.
That's
We're
right.
scrimmaging.
We're going to say hi. We're going to wave to the crowd. We'll throw a couple of jerseys out, and we'll tell everybody all the things that we haven't been doing.
I like that. We should
Yeah.
throw some jerseys out.
Mm. We need to get jerseys. Who on here thinks that we should get merch?
I don't know.
I think
I got
we
candy.
should
I'll
get
throw
merch.
candy out. I'll throw candy out. To the
We
crowd.
need
Make it
merch
rain.
for sure.
Candy
I
just
don't know
got
what we're
thrown
waiting
at the crowd.
for.
Yeah, I need to get us set up for the merch thing because I need an AIC coffee mug
Merch.
badly.
Oh, dude, we definitely need like
Exactly.
AIC.
Look at this
How cool
piece
would
of.
that be?
My poor little. Look at this. My teacup needs a.
Dude,
companion.
I'm drinking off of styrofoam cups from a gas station. Okay, we need some AIC coffee.
Because he
I'm just
doesn't care
saying.
about the environment.
I care about
I
the
thought you
environment.
just said we
This
weren't going to
this is my
judge
friend.
2 minutes ago.
This is my
No
friend.
judging.
You don't,
Styrofoam
don't,
is,
don't diss my friend. He lasts forever.
Long
Yeah, he
lasting,
does.
right?
We're,
He's been
We're
with
down
me through
south.
everything.
oh, come on. If you want a cold drink down south, it's got to be styrofoam, man. You walk one of those paper cups outside, take 2 steps, it's already warm. You
That's
know
true.
this.
This is true. This is very true. You know, the funny
I
thing
know.
about being in the South, though, is that styrofoam cups, you never really know what's inside of them. It could be soda.
This is
It
also
could be
true.
boiled peanuts.
Could be other stuff.
Could be.
Nobody
Small
told you you
southern
had to live in
town.
the South. Don't start sniveling about it now.
I really like
You're
the
there
I'm
by
winter.
just
choice.
saying.
Yeah.
Don't.
Hey, you know what?
We're gonna
It's all
start
right.
with the accent.
I'm going
thing
to
now.
call my backup. I'm calling my backup. I will be pulling out the skulls.
Who wants to
This is
start
the last
with
guy
their?
who came to my door
Oh.
and gave me shit.
Okay, so wait, hold on. We need to do 4 things today. Okay.
Four things.
4. We
okay,
need.
what are the 4
You're
things we
strict.
have to do? I know,
We need
right?
to tell-
Totally. We
Shut
have a
up.
list.
We need to tell the fine folks what the fuck it is that we're doing when we come back next week with the real
Okay.
That's the
episode.
big one. That's the
That's
first
right.
game of the
5-0.
season.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
And it's 50.
Man.
And then
the big
and then
5-0.
that's
I know.
one thing. And then the other
That's one. It's
3
one thing.
things are the other 3 things are that we all each have to kind of give an update. Of author stuff.
Sounds like a plan. So next week
That's
is
2.
the 50th episode. The official
No, that's
50th
3.
episode.
Me, you, and Ray.
What are we doing for our? What do we? Go ahead, give it to him. Tell him what we're doing
Okay.
for our 50th. She is really
So,
excited
because-
about this, by the way.
Because yes, and Rob is too. You're the only one who isn't, Raymond.
Apparently, I'm not. Okay.
Yes.
That was pretty.
Well,
Okay.
so
I thought it was cool. It's a good idea.
the format for
agree.
the 50th episode is sort of reminiscing, I guess. Each one of us is going to pick some of our favorite episodes of the podcast, and then we're going to chit chat and talk about the thing, which is interesting on a number of levels. I think that's probably some of us are going to be. I'm not going to speculate on that. Actually,
I do.
I'm
And I
very
get
interested.
asked all the time. Have you picked your topics? Have you picked your episodes?
And
Have
he
you
says
picked-
no.
It's been 3 months. Have you picked your episodes? It's
I
been
will.
2 months. Have you picked your episodes? I'll pick them. Don't worry. I
I
will
will.
pick them.
I will.
Now,
he
be
says I will.
advised to our viewers, those episodes could be they could predate Glacia, which means she gets to come in raw
is
and
true.
kick ass because she didn't get a chance the first time round.
She gets to
And
critique.
now we are straight and level, and she gets to. I think I think two of mine were glazed. They were
Two of them were,
pre-glazed.
yeah.
Good.
They were pre-glazed. Two
Good.
years? Okay.
Not because of any
I can
reason
think at
that I
least
think
one of
they're
mine's going to
interested.
be, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's the thing that is, I mean, I think that we had talked about setting like a timer, like so that we
Mhm.
had like only a very short amount of time to talk about each one of them, and I think we were each supposed to pick
Oh,
like what,
right.
like 3, and
Yeah.
the moving forward with the podcast, I think what we are going to be doing is revisiting some of the older topics for a number of reasons. I mean, the cast has
Right.
changed. We have all matured and developed as writers.
Sure we have. Yeah,
Not as people. We have not
Sure.
matured as people at all, but as
Some of
writers.
our hair has gotten longer.
That's true.
Yeah.
One of us has way more hair than he did a year
I
ago.
know way more hair than I did a year ago. I know.
Yeah.
But
Um,
oh yeah. No, hey, one of
but-
mine is definitely going to be So You Want to Be an Author. That one we
You're not supposed to tell anybody. Shut
I'm
up.
just saying, hey. I told that guy that time with that thing.
I don't want to hear about that guy that time.
Oh,
Unless it's
I'll
that
tell you
other
all about
guy.
that
If it's
guy.
the
You
other
know,
guy, then we can talk about that then.
No, it's the guy
I don't want to talk
The
about
guy.
that
who got the thing. You know the thing.
I do know
There's
the
only
thing.
one
I don't want to
thing.
talk
There's
about
only
the
one
thing. I don't want to talk about the thing or the
I know.
guy.
Yes, you do. We talk about the guy and not the other thing. The thing. The thing. Not the other one. Not the other thing. I don't want to hear about the other guy. Other guy's not even important. We can do Italian. We can.
That was a
totally-
long way to go for a mafia.
We
joke,
can
but
do
okay.
it. We can totally do it.
Dude, I wanted to keep going, but I was like, now's not the time.
It's like
Place.
the Who's on first skit. Oh,
or
yeah,
we
yeah,
start
that one.
if we start diving
That
off
never
into
gets old.
Python shit, then we're never coming back. And no,
Oh yeah, then we'll get them like Melvin stuff.
we pledge to be 13% more efficient this second.
Did we?
half of our-
Nobody told me we were pledging
No,
anything.
we were supposed to have a timer for nosedives down the rat hole and all the
I
tangential
think that
shit.
was just for the 50th. Fuck that for the rest of it.
I think that was.
Oh, okay.
I think
All
that
right.
was
Good
for the
enough.
50th. We weren't doing.
just
Yeah,
for the
we're not
50th.
being
God,
anymore.
no, I'm not.
Okay,
No,
okay.
God, no. That I was just about to say.
Who's going to
something
hold
really
a timer
hateful.
on this group? Really? Come on.
Well, I
can
think it
of
was a
somebody You
metaphor.
would have.
I think it was.
I wouldn't hold a timer. Good luck
No,
with that.
you wouldn't. But I can think of somebody else who might have.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a you.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's thing number one. Now let's go and update where we've all been since the end
I
of
want
the
you
world
to start
began.
because you're very excited.
I
about
know
the whole-
Rob's very excited. Go ahead,
wanna hear
Rob.
about
Give us
that.
your update. It's like first day of school. What'd you do this summer?
Yeah,
Stand
I
up, tell
started-
everybody your name.
What did
I'm
you
Bobby,
do?
and I live on 25 Fort Street. And
I learned how to pee in a toilet.
all of it in the toilet.
when I go pee pee.
No, I'm gonna be that guy. Men have penises, girls have vaginas.
Okay, but I have a new project. I'm writing a new book because
That's awesome.
my previous, which was book 3 in the specimen series, is now, by God, it's being edited. It's made it to the editor after
Oh,
Excited
wow.
6 months.
Oh, I'm so
But-
jealous. He has one coming out.
Now the best news is that I've started a new work in progress. I have a WIP. What did I say I was? I'm 10 chapters in now.
Mhm.
It's a
Nice.
period piece set in 1897. Equal parts soap opera, murder mystery, and examination of psychosis.
Oh,
I'm having a lot of fun with it. You know what I really love, Ray? You broke my ass about going off the reservation on that book that shall not be mentioned
yes,
a couple
that
years
book.
ago. I'm out of the state. I'm so far off the reservation at this point.
Oh, that is
And
awesome.
you know what I have to say, it's liberating not having to invent everything around you. It's nice. I wish I would have gone here a little bit earlier, but
You
I'm
actually get
having
to
a
use
lot of
real
fun.
stuff.
I
Real
get to use
rules.
real stuff. I got to kill a person from
Ooh.
1,000 feet
AIC
away.
list. What is that? No, what does it say?
Can you read it?
What is
I
it?
can't read it. No.
When I was talking to Rob earlier, I wrote this down as a topic idea.
Oh, look at
I
you.
like it. I like it. Yes.
This
that'd be a
is
good,
going to be one
good
of our upcoming topics in honor
Oh,
of
yeah.
Rob and his ship jumping.
I jumped
That's good,
my
though.
ass off,
Yeah,
and
that's good,
I'm
though.
having a ball with it. It's ape shit research. You have to get it right. We don't get out of that, Ray. Even if we go this way, we still have to research our asses off. But it's
Yeah, I know. But
it's
real
just
stuff.
so
you
much.
know?
It's real stuff. It's easy. All I have to do is make sure my history is right, which I can do standing on my head. And I'm terribly excited. It's going to be an epic, a long one, big book, but I'm hoping
that.
by early 2021 it'll be on its way. So fingers
Oh,
crossed.
see, that's
It's a lot of
cool.
fun. And I got to kill somebody with blood poisoning yesterday, which was cool.
Oh, see, that's cool. All
How
you're
many
missing is
people have you
dysentery.
killed so
honestly.
far?
I've
Well,
only killed
That's
two.
not the question. That's not very polite.
It was
You
it was two people, but it's how they were killed that makes it enjoyable.
Nice.
A lot of fun. And sepsis was my
Did they
weapon
get
of
Did they
choice.
get the COVID? They got the COVID.
No, I think this guy wishes he would have had COVID. He went, man, he was in bad shape. But we'll talk more about it some other time. Glacia, what have you been doing besides
Yeah.
moving all over
the
Hell's Half Acre?
world. The world.
That's about the extent of it. That's why I wanted you to
All right.
start.
You were a
Okay,
moving mojama,
Oh my
weren't you?
God! Yeah, I was from
Dude, I am totally eating. Look at that.
Georgia to
Oh.
Georgia to South Carolina to North Carolina, and now I stay.
Yeah, that's right.
Now I stay in
Now
Charlotte.
she stay
I
into
stay.
Charlotte
I stay in Charlotte. Yes, no more Atlanta. Atlanta is
with the
gone.
planes.
Yeah, are you
Yes.
now? Wait a minute. I think I asked you this before. Are you close into the city? Or are you out in the sweet-smelling hills? Of rural?
No, like my address is Charlotte. Like
Oh, okay.
it's Charlotte.
But
like
you got
inside
green
the perimeter.
all over you. Do you have kudzu on you still, or no?
Mm-mm. No, there's
No
no kudzu
kudzu?
here, but
Good,
yeah,
good.
there's
Kudzu.
kudzu everywhere though.
What the hell?
Kudzu all over the place. But yeah, in terms of like writing and things of that nature,
Yeah.
I
Writing.
made a decision, and this is a decision that Ray doesn't even know
Uh-oh.
yet. Yeah, I've been kind of like mulling it over and like thinking about, the first 3 books in the series and the feedback that I've gotten on it kind of matching with my own instincts on the book, my own instincts contradicting what it was that I had planned to do. When I ended Aspen, which was book 3, I was like, that really wrapped up. There's a lot there still. There's still very much more story directly to do with what was going on and within the world. But honestly, that story is wrapped. That
Wow.
Clockmaker is a trilogy. And Hawthorne, which is
we're
book
putting
4,
it to bed. Oh.
Hawthorne is still going to happen, but Hawthorne is going to be the start of an entirely different series.
Spin-off.
It's a continuation. I mean, it does start right after, but I think
Same
I'm
universe,
going to
different collection.
same
kind of
universe, same time. Just sort of, it's a different concentration. The concentration shifts so dramatically away from the case that they were working on and shifts towards so much Lark's journey to identify who this person was that was so much like her. And she very much thought that
That
she
is
was the
cool.
only person in the world who could do this. And then suddenly she stumbles into this case and discovers this other person who can do the exact same thing. The case is wrapped, but now everybody's just sort of trying to toil about and figure out who the fuck this guy is. And everybody has their own reasons for wondering. And hers is very selfish. And so it doesn't have anything to do with the other three books in terms of the direct storyline. And
This is more about her, period.
it is. It is
And
very
that's-
much
that
so.
sounds like a good story. That's kind of cool.
The story will remain the same. I'm not at all.
Is it a new trilogy, standalone book? Not sure yet.
I think that this is something that will. I think that this is probably another trilogy.
I don't know how you could do it in a standalone.
Yeah, no, there's a lot to unpack there. Hawthorne is
Especially
a very
after.
deep. Yeah, Hawthorne
Wow.
is a very, very, very deep idea, and I kind of like shoehorned myself into, you know, this sort of infinite continuation idea, and I think that that's been kind of paralyzing, because I'm like, oh well, I have to concern myself with the first three books in order to move on, and I still do. You know, I have to maintain continuity with the story and with the universe, but I don't know, there's something that is a little bit comforting in thinking of it as the beginning of its own series. So as of
That makes
today,
sense,
yeah,
yeah.
officially the rebranding on the insides of the books and whatnot are going to take place in the next couple of months, and Clockmaker is closed. And the next trilogy is going to be opening.
Is this going to get
Very
you shit on by people who are
No.
really wound up into that story, or no?
It's the same. It is a continuation of the same story. It's just being
Okay.
broken in a different way. It is no longer the Clockmaker series. So in a way, it's
You're
in
not
a
starting with
way-
a bunch of new people. These are still characters that
no,
they know.
no, absolutely not, absolutely not. This
Yeah,
and it
sounds
is
like it's a
100%.
continuation,
100% a
same
continuation
universe,
of,
yeah,
but
difference.
here's the thing, right? I would really, really like to do what I did again in the first trilogy. In the first trilogy, it's unbroken time. Unbroken. You open in this book on one
Right.
morning, and then you end in this book on another morning, and there is unbroken time. There's never any skipped time.
That's kinda
You
cool,
are
yeah.
existing
Kinda-
with the only time that skips is when everyone is asleep. If somebody's up, you're with them.
Glacia's own version of 24.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of. You joke,
Yeah,
but
Lark's our
kind
new
of.
Jack Bauer.
that's
No,
that's
Lark's
exactly
our new
Kind of.
Jack Bauer.
It's like, yeah, if like, yeah, actually, I'm not gonna laugh at that because that's
That's
fucking true.
It's kind of
So
cool. I like that. Yeah.
yeah, because there is a gap between the end of Aspen and the beginning of Hawthorne,
Right.
it felt weird.
Story.
And so I'm
Okay, that
like,
makes sense.
okay, I have to, I think if I clean slate the whole thing and do the same thing again, try and
Right.
identify a period of time in which I can do all of that
Right.
and start anew, then I think that the story will benefit. If nothing more, I think the story is going to benefit from my liberation. And I
get
know
it.
it sounds really petty. It sounds petty and stupid to be like, I'm not calling it the Clockmaker series. I'm making it a different, you know, and it
No,
sounds
it
fucking
doesn't.
retarded.
Doesn't sound petty.
It would be weird if you tried to shoehorn this into the Clockmaker series. It wouldn't be
Right.
organic. It wouldn't be right. It would be stupid. if
Nobody
you did
nobody
that.
but
This
you
is the
knows
way
how
to go.
well or bad it fits. So for you doing this,
Yeah.
there's obviously something there that makes it worth it. So
I
you go.
agree.
Yeah, I'm taking my readers' unintended advice. I've had a whole lot of people read Aspen and go, God, what a great ending. And I was like, huh,
it's not ended.
there's more. There's a lot more. But they
Okay,
were
that's
very
good.
much satisfied. So their identification of what the story is apparently
Mhm.
is something that I cannot appreciate because I have the global view of everything.
Well, I mean,
I
you've
know
also got,
all this stuff.
as well as
And
Hawthorne, you've got other stuff that may later on resurface.
yeah, and see, that's the thing is that
There's
right
some
now
really cool stuff.
I really want to work on
Really.
pen. I
I know.
have this
I know.
I
Which is
have
really
this thing
cool.
that
That
is
so far is my favorite. Yeah, I like
Rob,
what
have
I've
you
read.
read any of that? Did I send you
No.
any of that?
No,
With
you
the
didn't.
So
weird
if any of her
quasi-angel
fans are
guys?
here, yeah,
Oh, whoa,
encourage
whoa, whoa,
Penn.
whoa. Wait a minute. Yeah,
Definitely
you did. You did
encourage.
send that. That's slick as shit. My apologies. I thought we were.
Oh yeah, Penn
I had the wrong.
Penn was
Yeah,
dude.
no. I like that.
Yeah, Penn
That
was cool. Yeah.
I
I
think
can't
I
wait for her
recall
to finish
saying
that.
you need to work you need to give this some treatment,
Right?
some
Give it
serious
some,
long
yeah,
term
I
treatment.
know.
That was
I mean,
cool.
it's
I enjoyed
good.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep picking at it, and I've got all 4 of my MCs, and they're very cool. They're very cool.
See,
Like
and that's what,
even
and
my
it's,
villain
get it.
MC she's fucking badass.
I only had like
really
eight or
her.
9 pages, and it was. I remember pissing and moaning because I only had 8 or 9 pages, and you said,
Yeah, it's a
no,
good story. It's a great
I just want to
premise, I
see
know.
how this. Yeah, and it was. I understand the expedience of saying, to another author that you trust and that here, look this. Is this going to make
Right.
you puke, or is this good? And I'm
Is this
thinking,
going to make
okay,
you puke? I like that.
I want more of this. Give me some more. Give me some more. And
Oh,
it was
yeah.
almost as though it was a laboratory experiment, which I got. But I'm
It
hoping that this comes out and goes into production because it was really cool.
Dude, when it was a laboratory experiment, let me digress on that just a little bit.
It was a good microcosm, yeah.
You remember back, I don't know, 6 months ago, maybe longer, we had an episode about archetypes.
Sure.
The whole reason that kind of was a thing was because I got really insecure about my ability to come up with new content. And so I picked an archetype and was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to fill in the holes of an archetype as originally as I possibly can, and then write it. And that's what that was. So it was a laboratory experiment.
And she
Absolutely,
did a great job
100%.
with it, yeah.
Then
No,
you ought to
absolutely.
get more funding from the university because it went really well.
I'm going to apply for the next grant.
Yeah, exactly.
But okay,
I
so
know,
I'm
right?
going to
That's
tell you
good.
guys. I'm going to tell you guys one more thing because this segues into Ray. Ray and Ray did his author update yesterday, and he sort of alluded
Yes.
to a project that I think he was
Hinted at,
unclear
yeah.
as to whether or not he could talk about, and he can.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm going to segue into that by saying that Ray and I are both a part of a group of authors called the Authors Table. There's 14 of us now, all indie selfie authors, and we like trade fans back and forth and support each other. Well, somewhere along the line, somebody came up with the bright idea to do an anthology. And so we are doing like an MST horror spin of mirror-based short stories,
Right.
5, 10, 15,000 words, whatever, that are all going to be released in the same book. So right now, Ray and I are both sort of pecking at what will be our little 10K whips for the anthology. So
Very cool.
mine is incredibly
Yeah,
depressing. I've found that I cannot write anything that's not depressing. Ray, on the other hand,
Mine's kind of a fantasy whodunit. So I'm using the same Earth Reborn world that I created with Fallen and Black Queen as kind of a short story test bed for this. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, and that'll be cool.
I think it's cool as shit that you're using your
the universe
soon to be
yeah.
established. I guess you've established it, but it's
Yeah,
not published yet. But I think that's really cool that you're able to.
Well, and
pull
that's
a
kind of
short story
that
out
kind
of
of segues into the update. Yes, that's what I'm working on right now to get and when are we putting that out? When is the date for that?
I think we're trying to push for Halloween.
Wow.
Yeah, it'll be a Halloween release. And again, the only thing we don't worry about is the theme for mirrors. So I had to come up with a cool theme, and I did. I came up with a really neat idea. Shared it with one other person who will remain nameless, but is here. So she liked the idea too, and so I'm kind of working with that one. Aside from that, as everybody knows, we had Sleep. Sleep got so gargantuan it broke into 2 books, Fallen and Black Queen. They are both written. They are both being going through the rewrites prior to editing. Also still sitting in a drawer is Underground, which needs to go through rewrites. And there's still Renegades, which has to come out. And this is all moved from 2020 to 2021. With COVID, there was so much transition going on. Settling back in took a while. So it's now just starting to settle back in. So I'm hoping to finish a short story, jump right into Fallen, and get that to the point where I can get it over to an editor. That's where I'm at to get my 2020 release of at least one book this year, if not the full 3 or 4.
Well, I mean,
So-
you've been
We've been busy.
You've been
busy,
busy,
yeah.
but you have been doing stuff. You have been pecking at
Oh
it.
yeah,
And
no, I
I
have.
mean, you know me. I mean, like I'm constantly that asshole who's like, you know, the story's gonna take as many or as few words as it wants, and it's gonna take as long as it. And I know it's retarded, and
Yeah.
you know.
And as writers, we always stress about what we're working on, what we're not working on. When we're working on something, it's great. When we're not, we're angst over it. So that is
Yep.
just typical. And just like anybody else, that's the same thing. When I'm not progressing it, I'm worrying about it. And that's just what we do. And that's
I
okay.
had
Yes, you
somebody
guys-
ask me the other day, this is interesting what Ray just said, because he's been going balls to the wall for a long time, got a lot of stuff in the air, juggling his ass off. Glacier's
Yeah.
getting ready to make this fundamental shift, which is not as fundamental as you'd think. I want to get back to that other one soon. I'm going to prod you at that. I'm going to return the favor, by the way. But I had a question from a friend who said, because of COVID, you guys, you filthy writer types, you must be in seventh heaven because you got
Cog
nothing better
heaven.
to do
Mhm.
and I'm thinking, nope,
I wish.
wrong.
Nope.
There's a whole shit ton of things that are going on that have nothing whatever to do with writing. Hey, I haven't
Light?
been-
I mean, we've got
How long,
light.
when did I start? When did I start this, Glaze? Do you remember? Because you're the one that kicked me in the ass to make me do it.
Yeah.
It hasn't been that long.
May, I
No,
think.
I think it's been since then. We chatted about it. When did I actually start writing it?
It was
Oh, hell.
not after June. Because
Was it-
I
it
remember
wasn't after June.
the
okay.
only reason I have a good timeline on this is because I remember where I was when I was having these conversations with you, and I've moved so many
Okay.
times this summer. I have like a
But there's
chronological.
been, you know, I would think that I understand the sentiment. People think that we are, because of what we do is sedentary. We read and
Well, yeah,
research and we
there's-
sit and we write, but it's not as though we have the luxury to do nothing but sit and read and write and research.
No, we've got lives, and just like everybody
Shit's
else,
going
our lives
all
are
over
falling
the-
apart
yeah.
too, man. Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
we got. I'd
don't
love
know
to,
why, but
to
I kinda
hole up and
resented
do
the
nothing but
question.
right? Yeah,
Well,
but it's
yeah,
true.
it's
We're
sort
not,
of like
we're not in heaven, you know.
the assumption is that we're like immune to everybody else's struggles simply because we don't have
we
to
have a-
go to work. But I mean,
Yeah.
like, you know, we have writers have day jobs, spouses, significant others
Sure.
who have day jobs, you know,
I know
kids
family
who aren't
who
going
get COVID
to school,
and kids
you know,
and all of this other
people
stuff.
who are
She's
getting
right.
sick. And, you know, I mean, just the act of having to figure out when and how to get groceries, you know.
Yep.
Yeah,
I need
right.
fruit. I
Don't
need
forget
fruit
to wear
in
the
my
mask.
house.
Is it worth
badly.
going out? Do we order out? Is it time to get DoorDash again, or should we go
Right,
to the grocery
yes.
store? Man,
Right.
no.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? And so yeah, it is. I get why that would make you a little bit resentful, because
Oh,
in reality, I mean, like, I can look at the authors who I know, you know, like the 25-ish people who I interact with enough to know, they the majority of them have been writing far less than they
yeah.
normally would. And
it's almost like we're getting ripped off for something that should have been this
And you
huge.
wanna
There's
know
a lot
what?
of mental overhead going on these
Yeah,
days. This
exactly.
past- since
Correct.
2020, a lot of mental overhead. I know I've been, God, up and down and stressed and roller coaster.
What a
Been-
shitbag year this has been.
Oh,
and
You're not kidding, right? 2020 is
honestly,
some
I
curse
think
word.
I go to 1897 about 8-9 hours a day, maybe 10. On
Shit, I'd love
some
to do
days
that
I'm
right
going,
now.
I just pounding at this because I'm in that, in that creative groove. and
You're
what
in
it
the
feels
zone.
like.
And God, I'd love
Stay
to be
in
in the
there,
zone
you
right
So
now.
ride that
jealous.
wave,
Oh,
and it's,
Oh, I know.
but I like 1897 a hell of a lot better than 2020. Fuck this.
Fuck
Well,
that,
hell
yeah.
yeah, I don't blame you.
I'll go with
I
you.
go, I'd
No
go
kidding.
hack out to one of my worlds and do that. I mean, it's a great
Chit-chat.
escape, but trying to get to the point where we can manifest that time frame is not always easy. It's not always convenient. I mean, as much
You
as I'd
don't
like to
get to-
rabbit hole into my book 20 hours a day, you can't. You got
Nope.
life and kids and COVID and grocery shopping, and the shelves are cleared off of cleaning supplies. What are we worried about next?
Something's
So, yeah,
broke.
Well,
I
and
got to
it-
go fix it. I got to go
Yeah,
mow the this.
it's
I
a lot
got
of
to trim the that. Holy shit! That didn't just stop for any of us.
Nope, it didn't.
No, it didn't. And to think that it's a strange generalization, right? Because it's like, imagine
True.
like a stay-at-home parent, right? Like somebody
Right.
whose life, really hasn't changed that much, all in air quotes. I know a lot of stay-at-home moms and stay-at-home dads who their stress load has increased exponentially, just like everybody else has, because of everything that's going on. And you don't hear people going like, oh, well, you're just a stay-at-home dad, you're just a stay-at-home mom, you've got it easy,
Right.
blah blah blah. It wouldn't have affected you. So the fact that our little micro population of authors and writers is getting sort of pointed at and going, so why haven't you written 3 books by now?
And that's yeah,
Right.
You're right. I mean, the only big difference, at least I've seen on that end, is at the beginning of COVID, book sales went up.
Yeah.
All of a sudden,
they did.
Yeah.
There were more book sales, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah,
what?
I did really
here-
well.
And then this month it's Audible. So I don't know if that has any relation to it, but yeah, we're seeing some ups and downs, different patterns based on sales because people are at home, they're stuck, they need something to do, and
Well,
I'm
but
all
I
about
mean-
that. Buy the books.
I went back to normal level. Like mine
so did I.
spiked, but then I went back to normal level around July. About maybe
That's about right. Yep.
4 to 6 weeks ago, everything kind of went back to, it was
And
like
it
da 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 da
was
da, and then it was like and then it went right back.
Mid-August, my
where
Audible's
it
picked
was.
up. Yeah, mid-August,
right.
Audible's picked up. And I
You
don't
know, and
what
here's the thing.
correlation
know-
of that was.
I know a lot of people of Kindle and paperback, and that has
Right.
for them also gone down. But I also know a lot of people who have also seen an uptick in Audible.
Hmm.
So
That's
maybe everybody's
interesting.
just
Yeah, it's a-
sick to death of fucking reading, and they're like, just tell me a story, goddammit.
I know. I just want the Audible version. Just give me the audio version.
Just read it to
right?
me. I can't be
God,
bothered.
you're not kidding. That's it. But yeah,
June
we're
18, Glacia.
June
June
18th.
18.
June
Yeah.
18. That's
There
when
we
I
go.
started this. And
Mhm.
I feel ripped off sometimes because I want to stop time. Just stop this for a minute. Everybody
Yeah.
go into a bizarre sort of stasis. I'm going to slink over here and write for 6 months and get all my shit done. And then I'll come back and start it all up again because I don't get to do that. It doesn't
Well, I mean,
exist.
just like
Real world
like
doesn't let you
anything
do that.
else, this doesn't. Writing happens when your world is predictable, when you're stable, when things are going the way you want them to, when you're settled, and you have your life. You do what you do, and then you have your writing because you can do that. When things get turned upside down, to put yourself in that mental space to be able to concentrate on writing is next to impossible for me. I mean, if I've got 50 things
Agreed.
I'm stressing out about, yeah, I'm not sitting down writing a book. I'm trying to solve these other problems.
It's
You
a
know,
very
Exactly right.
it's a very fragile state to
really
Yeah, it
is.
is.
get into. It can't be manufactured. It can be encouraged, but it is
Yes.
way easier to discourage. It can be fostered.
Exactly. You can evaporate it.
How
Yep.
many times have we
Goldilocks zone
forced
is
it
not
and then
static. You got
read what we
Yeah.
written and just like, I gotta go redo that whole thing. That's just horrible.
Well,
you
I
know,
mean, you and
I've
I,
done
you
that.
and I, yeah, you and I
Yeah.
sat down the other night to write. I pulled up my
Yep.
stuff, I read it, and I was just like, I literally turned the computer and I was like, read this because it feels like shit. Like I
Yeah,
had
it
time.
wasn't, but yeah, I mean, that's
I
the
had
thing.
time to write, but I was so
getting the mental
caught up
space to do it.
in insecurity and
Well, and that's it takes your brain has to be in a place to be able to do that, to be able to keep track of your story, to descend into it, to live the characters while you're writing them. It's not a chronicle. It's not like writing an essay paper. There's a
Exactly.
whole process that happens
like-
in our
Not the
heads.
same thing. Nonfiction, maybe.
Yeah.
Fiction, nope. You have to
Yeah,
be in that place.
No.
We always have to put ourselves in that place and live in that imaginary world to be able to write it properly. And it's
Was it the
like
beginning of COVID?
it's like it's smoke soap bubbles. It's so easy to pop that bubble, and the smoke just teases you for a minute, and it goes away.
Yep.
And
I
it
was
takes a while
doing
to get
that.
it back.
Yeah, I was writing, and I had forgotten my own basic rules of writing. I went back and looked at it. I hadn't been writing. I was chronicling. I was describing somebody moving from location to location. It wasn't writing. It wasn't
Yeah,
descriptions.
you were
It was just all I was doing was
locomoting.
chronicling.
Yeah.
Yeah. He went here, then he went here, then he went here. It's all I was doing. I had to go back and scrap it all because it was just, that's what happens when you force it.
Well, we're back and we're better, and we're a week
We're
away
back, we're
from
back.
50. So
Next week,
Hallelujah.
Sunday next week. We'll try to be better about putting out the episodes that night, but if not, look for the Monday on YouTube. But we will be going
if
live.
not, know
social
that
media.
Rapid Bailey has a million things that he's doing, and you guys are important. But
That's true.
if it happens on Monday, you weren't the most important.
You weren't the most important. That's okay too. But
You
if
were
you
like-
want it, if you're dying to catch it, live on Facebook
Live.
Sunday night, 9 o'clock.
You never have to wait for Raymond
Set
Bailey.
your watch by.
Just show up live on
That's
Sundays
right. You don't
at
have to go,
9.
what is that son of a bitch doing? Where's my video?
You're like,
What's he
God damn it!
sleeping?
What am I fucking like
know.
8th most important today? Like
Totally
12th?
doesn't care. Totally
What
doesn't
the
care. Like
fuck?
20th most important.
You're God
Like
damn.
he had
You
to
just never
sleep
know what's on
and he
that
had
list.
to eat and he had to go
Take
to
a
the bathroom
shit,
or
and wants to
something.
shower
Oh, God.
again, and like fuck me, Jesus Christ.
so unpredictable.
Yeah.
Why do
so
I
the
even
moral of
bother?
the story: Sundays.
Sunday night, 9 p.m. Set
Hang
your
out with
watch
us.
by.
hang out with us.
Prime
It'll be fun.
time.
Hang out with us. Yes, hang out with us.
Okay.
Get back, listen to the episode. That's right.
I think I changed
Hang
one
out
of
like
my.
that if you want to.
I changed one of my picks. I'm gonna go examine because I think I may change again.
Okay. You go change
All
your
right.
go change your pick again. All right, guys.
Cool.
Fache Book. It's been real. It has been fun.
Bye, Fudge.
Bye, guys. And we're off Fache Book.
And we can stop recording.
And